Hey, it's MK. I thought that I would really quickly get on and do a scrap video using this Floral Romance paper by Stampin' Up. Now, the first thing that I did was I picked out this stamp set by Altenew. It was actually given to me. It was kind of like a thanks for your being a great customer or something like that. And it's kind of cool because it has my name on it. I love that personalization. And I also picked out a couple pieces of, not pieces, a couple ink spots also by Altenew that I thought closely matched my paper pack. I fast forwarded this pretty fast because when I first stamped these flowers, the first thing that I didn't realize is, one, the color is gorgeous, but it's also a little bit too dark. I didn't want the flowers to be the main focus. So that's when I decided that I wanted to check to see if I stamped off, what will the color look like? And I like that a lot better. Now, these little buds are going to be my favorite part of this entire stamp set, but I left this process in so that way you could see how I stamped and how I put them all together, especially when it came to these larger flowers. Because I did what, after I stamped the darker color of purple in, that's when I realized that I didn't like the colors. For one, I stamped them too close together. So now I'm flipping them over and stamping the center part. Well, the center part is when I realized that that's way too dark. I don't like that at all. So now I'm going to try, I'm going to try what I call a rock and roll technique, which is you stamp your flower, stamp it off, and then roll the ink pad around the edge to get the darker, the variation of it. I could have used markers, but I think all my markers are alcohol. I tried that once and it stained my ink pad. It was pretty cool, or my stamp. I thought it was pretty cool. So yeah, I kind of wanted to leave this in. That way you guys got to see how I made the flowers instead of me trying to explain it. Now you guys get to see it. So I'm using one piece of paper as a scrap to stamp off my flowers. And then the other one will be what I cut out. And I'm actually going to cheat after I'm done stamping all of my leaves. Again, I fast forwarded this so fast that I didn't want it to be too boring, but I wanted to leave it in so you guys could see what it is that I am doing. But I'm going to actually run this through my scan and cut because I can, and it makes my life so much easier. But after that, then I have some pretty cool embellishments. Now, this is one of my favorite things to do. Even though I did have that bag of embellishments, I do enjoy making my own embellishments. It's the joys of paper crafting. So especially when it comes to using it from scratch, some scraps, not scratch. So those were all my little flowers that I finished. And I picked out a couple base pages. These are the pictures that I am going to be scrapbooking. I'm also going to be doing some mixed media. I picked out a stencil, 2 sprays from Altenew, and some shimmer paste, textured paste. Anyways, I don't know. I am by far the worst person when it comes to knowing my products. So I absolutely love this green though. Now, off camera, I did put gesso while I was doing my stamping. These pages were drying, so they do have gesso on them. And now I am just trying to see how much mixed media I need on my paper. I absolutely love this green. Oh my goodness. And I just want it to peek out behind. I don't want it to be the focal point of my layout. And then, of course, I don't wait for it to dry. That's my bad. I don't wait for it to dry when I add the purple on. And when I go to smush the purple, it starts to get brown. And so, yeah, I'm kind of kind of disappointed in that. That's my bad. It's my fault. So now I'm trying to be a little bit more careful, and I'm still getting that blending it turn into brown look. So now I'm being a little bit more cautious of how I'm applying that so it doesn't turn brown. And that's such a soft purple, but it was too soft. I definitely want it to have a little bit more dark spots, but not in your face dark. So I'm going to set those off to the side to dry. And now I'm going to embellish my stamped images, those flowers, just a little bit more. So all I'm doing is adding a faceted gem into the center of these flowers just to give it a little bit of depth, a little extra color. I thought it was missing something, so that's when I decided to do that. Now I'm going to do photo mats, photo treatments, however you guys want to call it. I'm not really sure. The flowers only match one side, so Close to My Heart's cardstock is double-sided, where it's dark on one side and a little bit shade lighter than the other side, or on the other side. And so I was trying to see which side of the cardstock matched the flowers a little bit better. So, and this vellum is absolutely gorgeous. It's a peachy lace vellum. I absolutely love it. So, and it's so light and airy that the mixed media shows up behind it, and I really liked that effect. So I'm using my favoriteest punch in the whole wide world. And I'm trying not to trim down any of my photos at all. I would like to keep them in the 6x6 format. And I'm really not measuring. I just know that these are the papers that I want to use. This little lacy thing, oh my god, this is adorable. So these are laser cut designs, again by Stampin' Up, and they've come out with like 4 different designs. One's only available at a time, but I was able to get my hands on all 4 of them, and I just absolutely love them. Oh my gosh. There's cut apart sheets, and then there's also a 12x12 sheet available of them. You guys should definitely go check those out. Now this piece isn't showing up really well, but it's actually a wood grain, and it's like a white wood. So here's that shimmer texture pasty stuff that I'm going to add. Again, also by Stampin' Up. I'm not sure if they still offer this, but I love its texture. I love how smooth it goes into stencils, and the bleed is not, I don't know, it's just, I guess I would use the word dry. It is just dry enough that it's awesome. So, and then I'll show you guys a close-up here pretty soon of what that looks like. And it is, look at that. That is so cute. I like that. So as I'm laying my photos back down, here is where I made the decision to shrink my photos down a little bit. I decided to use a 3x5 picture in place of 3 of the 4x6 photos, only because I was losing the design of the layout that I really wanted. I'm going to leave a white border on 2 of the photos, and then based on the scrap piece of the vellum that I have left over, I'm eventually going to cut the white border off of that one down on the bottom, only because, again, I'm just using scraps and I want to be able to only use my scraps. So that is the reasoning behind not having the white border. I would have loved to leave that white border on there, but I wanted that vellum to frame the entire photo. I didn't want it to not be at the bottom, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So eventually I will get there. Yeah, right there. That's when I decide that I want the vellum to go around the photo, and I can't make the vellum bigger, so I will now make the photo smaller. These photos are from a photo shoot that my daughter was getting. She was getting her senior pictures taken out in the canyon that is about 2 miles away from our house. And while she was getting her photos taken and I was distracting my son, I decided that I would take his photos. So everywhere that Cora went, Gabriel ended up behind her. So Cora sat next to the river, and so Gabriel sat next to the river, and then same on that stump. Cora sat on the stump, and then I took his picture on the stump. So this is a little border strip, and then of course a little cut. It's like a 1/4-inch strip of cardstock. Again, I just had it in my stash. It wasn't something that I went and cut specifically for this layout. I just liked how it added a little foundation, I guess is the right word. So, and I am one of those scrappers that likes to lay out all of my pieces first. And mainly the reason why I do that is to see if I need more. I know what I have, I know what I start with, but I don't want to be almost to the end and then realize that I needed just that hair more, if that makes any sense. So I've got my light green sprigs, my dark green sprigs or leaves. I don't know what they're called, but that's what they look like. And now I'm going back to that gorgeous vellum, looking to see if there is anything else in the embellishments, leftovers that I want to add. I am feeling like this is missing something, but I don't rightly know. So the 1/4-inch piece of cardstock is the same exact color as the border punched cardstock. And if you see, when I flip it over, it was lighter on the other side. Again, it's that close to my heart cardstock that it's two-toned. Now I have adhered all of my photos along with the paper elements that I decided to go on this layout. And I'm going to roughly put the stamped images back where I thought that they did, kind of like the trial and error. I didn't take a picture or anything of where they're going to go, but I roughly know where everything's going to be put back in place. And so I'm just going to go ahead and use liquid glue and some foam to put those back down. I also have a stamp that is very light. You can't really see it, but I used a peach, and the stamp is like a little cluster of dots to kind of go out from the flowered images. I hope you guys can see them in the close-up. And then I used some more gems to decorate each little cluster. So these are the layouts. Here are some close-ups. I really enjoy playing with my scraps. I hope you guys give it a try too. Thank you so much for watching. And I'm so sorry for the scatterbrained voiceover. Again, thank you so much.